Dr. Cortez. We're going to continue discussion on consumer behavior fundamentals. Topics to be covered. Learning outcomes. Ito yung stages of consumer behavior. It's important for marketing students and entrepreneur to know this step. Ito yung titingnan natin bago natin bentahan yung mga customers and clients natin. And pag tayo naman yung bibili, ito yung mga stages na ating pagdadaanan. So first off, should identify the problem. So we should not be selling products or services to the customers or the consumers. Binibenta natin sa kanila ay yung solution sa problem. Kasi pag physical goods lang and service natin binibenta sa kanila, marami tayong competitors, marami silang alternative. Pero pag solution, hindi lahat ng solution ay unique. O hindi sila lahat ng solution ay magkakapareho. Your solution should be something unique. Ito yung dapat natin ibenta sa mga customers natin. So pag mayroong solution, dapat mo nating malamang mayroong problem silang ina-identify. The first stage in the process. So hindi sila bibili kung wala silang problems to be solved. Example, needs and wants ng mga customers natin. So they have this problem of solving yung mga needs, basic, no? Physiological. Meron silang safety needs. They want to belong to something, so some group. They want to boost their self-esteem. Kapag once naman medyo mataas sa needs, na you need water, food, but you want a hamburger and spaghetti. Yun. So ito yung ating titingnan na before selling something, inaalam natin yung kanilang gustong bilhin or yung kanilang problem that they want to solve na before they make this purchase decision. So it's important for us to know the unmet needs ng mga customers natin. For example, they are pedestrian. No? They are walking the road, the highway, then meron silang problem na mainit. Nababasa sila. So they created the umbrella. If something is broken, for example, a broken table that you are regularly using for your business, pag yun ay nasira, bibili sila. No? But they have this another problem of pagkatapos masira ng one time, then another time masisira na naman yan. So another problem arises na dapat meron silang mas durable na gamit or table or appliances. Ito yung ating sinusolve. So habang papataas yung kanilang problem, levels of problem, habang meron silang hinahanap, so sinasabayan natin yung kanilang problems in giving solution to them. That is the first step, no? Going to the very root of the problem, yung ating gagawin. The second step, should know that should be searching for information. So pagkatapos ng malaman na meron sila mga needs and want, and they want to relieve this problem. So may mga products na can solve their problems. So hindi maghanap sila mga information search. We should understand that pag mayroong problem, hindi agad bibili sa kanila, hindi agad sila bibili sa'yo. They should be searching for alternative information how to solve the problem. So maraming products, maraming brand, iba-ibang brand, they have different offering. So pag mayroong 10 alternative, so mahirap silang mag-isip, mamili na. So kanya-kanyang bigay ng info or alternative competitive advantage para yung product na in-offer ay piliin. For example, if yung nag-offer ng isang alternative or info para sa kanila, so you should make it a point na mag-stand out yung product mo, no? So there are lots of things na ginagamit paano mag-stand out ang isang product. For example, pwede mo sang daanin sa feature ng product mo na wala yung iba, no? Sa kulay, sa size, shape. Example, laptop. Pag mas slick yung laptop, mas bibilhin siya kasi mas kasa sa bag, no? Or projector. Pag bulky yung projector, tapos pipiliin ko yung projector na mas kasa sa aking bag, no? So may mga projector na very slick, very slim. Dati mga projector makakapal, no? So ngayon ay may naglalabasang brand na kasa sa bag, especially mga presenter, mga professor, no? Talagang they will be looking for info or alternative na mas comfortable, convenient para sa kanila. Pwede ring daanin sa pricing, right? So basically, they will look for a price that will give them value. Ibang value for money. Nagbitaw ka ng pera and you should be sure na yung binitawang pera ay meron sa kapalit na value. So kahit mataas yung price, as long as yung value ay you perceive that the value is fit or tama lang dun sa price na binatawan mo, so you will be buying the product. So pricing or pwede rin discount, no? Kahit yung price ay malaki, as long as they are giving discount, sabi ko mga buyer, they are looking for these magic words. For example, discounted, free, save, one, instant. Pag nakita ng mga words na yon sa marketing, mas angat na yung product na binibenta mo, no? Or discounted, no? Kahit mahal yung, kahit 5% or 1%, no? Importante ay naka-discount sila. Kaya hindi masyadong malaki. So, what I'm saying is, pag merong discount yung isang alternative, siyempre mas angat. Or pwede rin sa warranty, na? If they can give the customer warranty, one year warranty, so malaking bagay sa mga sa mga customers. And after sales service, kung after selling the product, kinakamusta mo pa rin siya, kung okay pa siya, no? Sir, nasira ba yung product? Okay ba yung product na bili mo? Ayusin natin, palitan natin, no? Improve natin pag may diferensya. Sometimes they will also give insurance sa product na binibili mo, no? This one is available pag mga service na offer mo. Example, you're traveling outside, no? Yung travel agency na nabili mo ng ticket, they will offer insurance while you are traveling. So mas igagrab mo 'yon. So laying out all these alternatives na iba-iba yung mga offer nila. The next one for you is number 3. Evaluate alternatives kung saan dyan talaga yung gusto mo. Hindi porke mura, kukunin mo na. No? Kasi mura nga, hindi na masyadong matibay. Yan. Or warranty, pero 7 days lang siya. Kasi hindi masyadong kakagatin yan. No? Or slick ang shape, pero hindi masyadong durable. Or kahit maliit yung product, pero durable naman siya. So you should consider those alternatives. And after buying that, siyempre, the next move for you is you'll now purchase decision. And anyway, you should be looking for something like this one, durability, quality. Ito ang titignan ng mga customers mo. Durable yung product, pricing, service. Pag binili ko ba yan, mayroon bang after sale service? Pag popular ba yan, bibiling ko yan. Di masyadong matibay, but as long as it is popular, so mas in ako, bibiling ko yan. Okay, yung brand ma, I will be looking at the brand, not the price. Never mind the price, pero yung brand ay kilala kasi. So I will grab the product. Another thing, social media review. It also plays a major role sa kung bibili ng customer product or hindi. Or kung ikaw yung customer, bibili yung product kung maraming social review or social media review. Sometimes you rely on the review. Kung maraming review or magandang review, di ba binabasa mo yun? So you will buy the product. And the next step is, of course, you will now make the purchase decision. And so bibili na tayo. So at this point, customers have already explored yung mga options, iba-ibang brands. They are aware of the pricing of the options, the features, kung saan sa pwedeng bilhin, kung accessible ba yan online or physically. There is some physical store. Sometimes you rely on the physical store. Hindi mo sabihin pag online kasi takot kang pag nasira ay hindi sa maibabalik ka agad. So sometimes you go for the physical store instead of the online. Iba naman ay online yung kanilang ginagamit, no? Sa this stage, kahit ay nandito ka na sila, no? Kahit bibili na sila, at the last minute, they can still change their mind. Pwede pa rin mag-back out mga yan, no? Sa purchase decision. Nandun na sa store mo, the last minute, pwede mag-back out, no? There are things that will make the customers back out. Example, masungit na tindera. Hindi masyadong attentive, matagal mag-serve, matagal siyang entertain. Bibili na sana di ba? Pero matagal siya. Plus, masungit pa. The ambience, hindi masyadong customer-friendly yung store mo, mainit. Yan, hindi masyado siyang na-entertain. At matagal, no? So, back out yan. Okay, now, assuming na bumili na yung customer mo sa'yo. The last stage that we should not forget. Itong sinabi ni Philip Kotler, no? Sa final purchase decision, they can still back out. Yung customers natin pwede pa rin mag-back out yan because of some factors, no? So customers may get negative feedback dun sa mga friends, no? Bibili ka na naka-ready ka na doon, no? May pera ka na, but sometimes your friends, companion, family members, no, wife, husband, partner mo, they can make you back out by saying something negative feedback about the product you are about to buy. For example, a customer shortlisted a laptop, pero sabi ng kanyang kaibigan, negative, pangit yan, nakabili ako din dati, hindi masyadong matibay at mahirap hanapin yung parts. Last minute, you will back out from the purchase. It will make your mind change, your mind of not buying the product. Alright, so aside from the people that can make your customers change their mind, pwede namang a situation can make you change your mind. Example, a sudden change in business plan ng company. Example, bibili ka na, okay naman yung review, no? Sabi ng kaibigan mo, sige, go for it. Kaya lang, yung budget, kinulang. Yan, so, you will back out from the purchase, no? Or unexpectedly, at the last minute, 2 days before the purchase, biglang nagbago ng price yung product, tumas ng 10%. May nakalagay doon, they will change their price without prior notice. Hindi ka pwede magreklamong yung price 2 days ago was 10,000, then suddenly naging 11,000. Without prior notice, they can change the price. They can increase the price. But for you, it can make you back out kasi sayang lang yung 1,000, di ba? Hindi tumas ng 1,000, naging 11,010. You will back out from the idea of buying the laptop. So ito yung mga factors that can make your customers back out from the purchase. Now, assuming na nabili na yung product, sometimes we forgot this one. Huwag natin kalimutan yung post-purchase evaluation ng mga bumili sa atin. Purchase should not stop the moment that you gave the product, the moment that they pay you. Dapat tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung ating tawag sa kanila, pag-monitor sa kanila kung okay ba yung pinili sa'yo. Okay, kaya nga, it's important na meron kang database ng mga customers bumibili sa'yo so that you can make the proper follow-up sa kanila. After 5 days, for example, di ba? Matutuwa sa'yo yan, di ba, na tinawagan mo sila, asking them if the product is okay. Or kahit hindi about the product, no? Sometimes you can invite them sa inyong mga company event. Kasi we have what we call the relationship marketing. You are not just selling something to the customers. Now you are establishing a relationship sa kanila between the person, the customer and your company. So pag mayroong mga event yung company, you can invite them, no, to be part of the celebration ng iyong company, so that you should make them special, no, na they are part of the company. Now, may dalawang outcome yung pagtanong natin sa kanila. It's either they are satisfied, nagtanong ka sa kanila after sales service, di ba? After, let's say, a couple of days, then you ask them. Pwedeng satisfied, pwedeng they are not satisfied. Yan. Are your needs satisfied or hindi naman? Yung expectation ba sa product is are the products up to their expectation or below yung expectation nila, nalampas ang expectation nila, or hindi nalampasan? Yan. So sometimes the customer can be lost even at this stage. Pwede silang mawala, no? Kasi pwede pa lang ibalik yung product na yun, eh. Yung product na to, meron dito defective. Pagsama, meron kang option na binigay doon. You can return the product within 7 days. Provided na walang damage ang product, pwedeng ibalik. May mga ganun, no? So, at this stage, kahit nakabila na sila, they can still return the product even if that is post-purchase evaluation if they are not satisfied. So, a consumer can be lost even at this stage, no? Yun ang, you lost a customer and siyempre magkukwento yan, no, sa mga kaibigan. So, you will lose another set of customers pag nagkwento mga yan. No? Yung masama dito, yung mga kinikwento, yung mga unsatisfied customer, yung nagkukwento. Mga satisfied, hindi sila nagkukwento masyado because given kasi yung satisfaction sa kanila, di ba? Pero yung unsatisfaction, magkukwento mga yan. So, you will lose even a greater number of customers by just a negative word of mouth publicity ng mga buyer mo, no? Because they are not satisfied. Alright? So, what is consumer behavior perspective? Ito yung attitude nila towards a product, a brand, a product category, a retail store. So, pwedeng sa brand, pwedeng sa product mismo, or pwedeng dun sa store mo mismo, yung physical store na pinupuntahan nila. They can have negative feeling or behavior, tulad doon, no? So, ang perspective nila, it can be a belief, paniniwala sa isang brand, paniniwala sa isang product, paniniwala sa isang retail store. Or pwedeng feelings toward brand, product, retail store. Or pwedeng behavioral intention towards brand, product, or retail store. No? So, ito yung mga object na target ng mga customers na gusto nilang they want to give a peace of their mind sa mga object na to. Okay, so pag sinabi nating belief, ito yung paniniwala na sa product, no? Pag sinabing affection, ito yung kanilang pakiramdam. Magagalit ba or hindi dun sa product. Or behavioral intention, ito yung they are influenced by some people. Okay, hindi ito yung kanilang sariling behavior, no? The behavior can be influenced by some people depending on which group they belong. Pag sinabing belief, paniniwala, is that health risk? Mataas bang sugar niyan? Mababang sugar niyan? So hindi ako bibili. Pag mataas yung sugar, no? Is it damaging to health? Is it damaging to kidney? Example, paracetamol, no? Kung bibili ka, bibili or hindi? Hindi, kasi damaging daw sa kidney. Alright? Or pwede namang feeling, no? May mga time na you want to buy something, a flower, chocolate, no, during Valentine's Day. Kasi yung affection during that day. Ayan. So, the brand can be affected, the product, the retail store can be affected ng iyong behavior, no? Or pwede yung behavioral intention, ayaw mo sa product but you're influenced by a group of people that you belong, example, classmates, office mates, no? So ito yung tatlong to, ito yung ginagawa natin, ito yung pinaparamdam natin sa mga gusto natin bilhin. Product, brand, and yung retail store, yung shop mismo. Alright. Isang belief, ito yung first component na yung intention ng mga customers natin towards our product. Ito yung first component. So, pwede siyang positive belief towards an object. Example, yung coffee. Bibili ako ng coffee kasi nagpapagising. Yan. Nagpapa-revitalize sa akin. So, positive belief. Pwede namang negative. Kasi, for example, ang coffee nagpapa-palpitate. Yan, because of caffeine. Yung coffee, it can cause stain sa mga damit. Diba? So, minsan, because of positive things, you will buy a product. Because of negative things, you will not buy a product. Yan. Kape kasi pag binibili mo yan, pag cold morning, talagang iinom mo yan. So, magandang pakiramdam. Yan. Pero siyempre, meron ding negative. The same thing na yung pork, na pag makain ka ng pork, talagang source of protein, di ba? Positive. Kailangan natin protein sa katawan, but negative kasi pampataas din ng ng cholesterol. Yan, so meron mga contradiction, no? Binibili natin. It's either positive or negative. The same thing with our belief towards a person, no? Pinakita ng tao sa community, mapagkawang-gawa sa positive belief sa kanya. Okay yung taong yan, no? But if you check the background, dati pala sang dati pala ex-convict, for example, no? So, meron kang negative, impact. Yan. So, belief can cause the marketability of a product. Yung pangalawa, the affection, yung pakiramdam natin towards a thing, no? Yung kanina kasi paniniwala, ito pakiramdam. Consumers also hold certain feelings towards brands or other objects. Okay, for example, hamburger, ayaw mong bumili ng hamburger. Pero minsan naawa ka dun sa nagbebenta ng hamburger kasi na wala pa siyang benta. Yan. Okay? Or yung mga environmentalist, no? You believe in them na mga environmentalist na mga companies na ang product ay paper. Yan. So, positive kasi they are creating product, paper, no? Kaya lang may negative din toward them, no? Example, yung they are cutting trees, pero that is damaging to the environment. Yan. So, parang nagagalit ka sa kanila at the same time na tutuwa ka rin. Kasi meron silang ginagawa mabuti naman, di ba? Kasi paper, kailangan natin paper. Pero cutting down trees, no? So, our affection towards them is affected. Kasi if you are an environmentalist, no? So, meron kang care for the environment. Ayan. The third one, behavioral intention. Eating what the consumer plans to do with respect to the object, buy or not buy the brand. As with the effect, is sometimes illogical consequence of belief, but sometimes it reflects other circumstances. For example, a consumer doesn't want a restaurant. Wala siyang gusto doon, but because of influence of other person like his friends, her friends, yan ang hangout ng mga magkabarkada, no? So wala, no choice kundi sumaman rin sa kanila, no? So you will patronize a restaurant, you don't like the resto, kaya lang the influence of some person, some people, no, will change your mind otherwise, no? Sige na nga, punta na lang ako dyan, sige na nga, nood na ako ng sine, hindi naman talaga nanood ng sine, pero out of pagkikisama, no? So we'll go to a movie. Yan. So, immediate purchase, na? Alright. Now, ito yung tinatawag kong continuum when it comes to customer thought process. May mga the extreme left to your left, no? The rational approach. On the other side is the motivational approach. So, either side, extreme, no? Pag rational approach kasi, may mga taong they are thinking before buying a product. Depende sa budget. Pinag-isipan ang ganung purchase intention na. So meron kang mga customers na rational. Ang ginamit, rational approach. Nag-iisip talaga kasi depende sa kanilang budget, depende sa kanilang income. So pinag-isipan talagang mabuti. Example, bibiling bahay, hindi pwedeng impulse yan, no? Impulse. Talagang rational na gagamitin mo pag ikaw ay bibili ng bahay or capital asset, property, kotse, bahay, anti-collection. Hindi pwedeng biglaan. Kasi it will affect the income or the income will affect your purchase. Ayan. Yung sa gitna naman, yung other extreme, itong nasa kanan nyo, to your right, no? This is the motivational approach. So, ito yung other side, hindi masyadong pinag-isipan. May mga buyer na motivational, may mga buyer na rational. Motivational, hindi masyadong pinag-isipan because of fear, bumili. May nangyari sa bahay, no? Nakawan. Biglang bumili ng isang gadget na that will prevent crime next time. Kahit walang budget, walang income, yung tawag natin dyan, yung sige ng sige, biglaan, spur of the moment, bigla siyang bumili, no? Kailangan kasi. Sometimes, because of anger, napapabili isang product na na hindi masyadong pinag-isipan, but because of anger, binili mo yan, hindi masyadong rational ang pagkakabili, no? O pwede nang happiness, no? Tuwang-tuwa ka, parang gusto mong ilibre mo lahat ng tao nakita mo, di ba? Hindi mo na masyadong pinag-isipan. Or tuwang-tuwa ako dun sa bata, binili mo yung kanyang tinitinda. Right? Or tuwang-tuwa ka sa kapatid mo, kaibigan mo, no? Binili mo bigyan isang mahaling bagay out of happiness, no? Or sometimes you will buy something out of yung opposite, sadness. Yan. Okay? Bigla may kinans, you're about to buy something but because of sadness. Magta-travel ka na. But because of sadness, because of depression, bigla mong kinansi yung travel mo. Yan. Hindi masyadong pinag-isipan. Yung pakiramdaman mo kasi bigla, di ba? So, merong rational approaches, meron ding motivational, and meron ding something in between. Ito neutral, yung sa gitna, no? Your behavior, your thought process is affected by bounded rationality. Kasi, sabi na kanina, yung pag-isipan ng pagbili ng isang product, minsan ginagamitan ng rationality. So, rational approach. Minsan naman, pag nag-isip kang bumili isang product, kinagamitan ng motivational approach, fear, anger, happiness. Meron something in between, neutral, bounded rationality. Reference pricing, ibig sabihin, pag bumili ka ng isang product, gusto mo siya, meron kang budget, nag-isipan mo, matutuwa ka, pero sometimes, iniisip mo dyan yung reference pricing. Bibili ka, kasi nakita mo na mura siya, compared sa price ng kabilang store. Yan, so, napapabili ka minsan ng ganun. Ginamitan mo ng budget, kasi pera yan, di ba? May price eh. Or sometimes, because of the risk profile, kung nakita mo hindi masyadong risky, binili mo siya. Kung hindi masyadong risky as investment, bibilhin mo siya. Kung risky siya, hindi mo siya bibilhin. No? O pwede namang mental accounting. No? May mga times na bibili ka ng isang product, kinikwenta mo sa utak mo. Sa budget pa rin, di ba? Budget pa rin, but at the same time, may kasama ring motivational. Pero, ginagamit sa mental accounting. Ibig sabihin, you are computing in your mind kung magkano yung price. Okay? Ano maging epekto nito sa inyong budget? Ipambili pa ba ako ng ulam kung binili ko to? Oh, may matitira pa pala. May matitira pang 1,000. Yan. So, you're doing mental accounting. So, it affects mental accounting, affects your thought process of buying something. Or pwede naman status ko ba? Yes, no? Iniisip mo rin dito yung status quo. Yung your position in society. Kapag binili mo to, it will affect your credibility, no? Ganun. Or pwede ring bias, no? Ito bibilhin ko to, hindi ko to bibilhin kasi yung kaibigan ko ay bumiling ganito, sira. Yan. So gamitan mo ng bias. Or sometimes you will buy a product out of happiness, pero at the back of your mind, iniisip mo rin kung hindi magiging maganda or hindi. So itong tatlong to, rational, motivational, bounded reality, mga things that will trigger your customers in thinking something, or ikaw mismo, no? Ikaw mismo, ginagamit mo tayo, no? Pag bago ka bumili ng product. Okay. That is the end of my presentation. So ito yung aking mga reference na ginamit for that one. And once again, this is Dr. Cortez. For listening to my lecture for the day, Dr. Cortez signing off. I'm your business doctor. Thank you.